What's up, guys? This is me, Crimson60620. I'm here, and I have a motherfucking treat for you guys. Yesterday, I started the stream extremely late, and fuck it, I was fucking tired. I think directly after the stream, I sat back in my chair and fell the fuck to sleep. But this is a different day, and man, the motherfucking internet is butt hurt over this shit. And I know a lot of people didn't tune in right away when I did the video yesterday. That's fine. I got me some caffeine, which I'm about to balance with the fucking Long Island iced tea. And let's just see how well this shit works. Anyway, guys, this shit, I'm not going to do much preamble today because this shit is fucking hilarious because, I mean, like, goddamn, these motherfuckers are literally losing their collective shit. One of the things that just like trips the fuck out of me is like, and I was just watching this chick. And they were losing their collective shit. Oh, when did Seven become a lesbian or bisexual? It's just like, you're upset because in the future, 500 years in the future, with magic, let's just say it, it's science fiction, so science fiction-y, it's fucking magic. Magic teleportation beams and magic robots, basically, because they are robots, are flying around in starships, but you're worried about the believability of two fucking characters that have the same parts actually liking each other and saying like, oh, like somehow being attracted to the opposite sex takes some big life-changing moment. I don't know. This shit is hilarious to me. And he'll complain about, no, it's not about them being two women. I'm sorry. This shit is hilarious. But anyway, we're about to get to a video. We're going to watch Undoomed. Like, I think Undoomed was like one of these guys that were a, I guess he was one of those people that were the edgy atheists and shit. Like, I'm like, is this what they used to be like for real, dog? I don't know. But we're gonna get through this one. This is 20 minutes long. Hopefully this doesn't take me as long as to dissect than the last one. Because that shit, oh god. But while we're doing this, since we're talking about Star Trek Picard, I'm going to be working on a farm like he was working on a vineyard. The analogies work. But anyway, let's go. By the way, I like a lot of these motherfucking videos say, attention, this video is not for children. Like, you just set that shit on your channel. Like, okay, that's how shit happens. I don't know. This shit is just amazing to me. Amazing. But let's continue.
Hail, YouTube, Dominions, Doomentites, and Arch-Villains. Thank you all for supporting me in my effort to save pop culture. And I would ask you please make sure you are still subbed, turn on your notification bell, and if you are not subscribed, please consider doing so.
So, like, this is some of the shit that kind of, like, I don't get with these motherfuckers because the first thing that they say is, I'm just trying to guard pop culture. No, the fuck you not. You're just trying to get your brand of interpretation of what you want. Be honest. Like, shit. They didn't do the shit that I like to do. And now I'm pissed. And this is going to be a strong one. But I got water. And the aforementioned caffeine. So I'm going to sip this shit. Long Island lemonade. I don't have any Coke. But, let's continue.
This channel could use your support. Thank you, and enjoy this video. As I tried to settle my stomach and at least dampen, if not extinguish, the rage and disgust roiling inside me, I sat down to watch the final episode of Star Trek Picard Season 1 and then started yelling at the screen. Because of what I saw. Riddle me this, Batman and Catwomen. What's the one thing on Earth these assholes could show us that would be worse than anything we've seen on Star Trek Picard? The answer? Mikey Spock. And that is exactly...
So, like, this is the shit that I don't get. Is this... They have this hatred for Discovery. Now, I get it. Like... No, actually, I don't get it. I've never watched Star Trek Discovery, and the shit is just like... I guess they feel that Star Trek isn't the same Star Trek that they grew up with. And quite frankly, shows evolve and change over the time. I remember actually watching it. They had heads-up displays. They didn't have that shit exactly in the 80s and 90s. But you're not going to complain about that. They literally have HUDs in Star Trek. Holographic HUDs. But, okay.
Exactly what I saw in the first frame of the finale of Star Trek Picard. Mikey Spock, looking insufferably smug, standing on some generic green screen set, holding a tattered Federation flag in her man-hating, traitorous, mutinous claw. Mikey Spock, the destroyer of the entire Star Trek franchise, reveling in the destruction of Gene Roddenberry's universe, the bestest ever.
I mean, like, I almost want to watch this motherfucking show because these motherfucking reactionaries are having a fucking issue over it. And it's just... I'm like, what the fuck is y'all problem? But let's continue.
At destroying the dream of Star Trek. There are no words for the visceral loathing I feel at the merest sight of Mikey Spock, the worst character in all of Star Trek history, who of course believes herself to be the bestest character ever, holding the tattered flag of the very Federation that she herself destroyed with the able help of fellow cultural vandal Alex Kurtzman. She is a symbol, you see, the embodiment of the arrogant disregard for everything that came before, the personification of the contempt that Kurtzman and CBS feel for fans of Star Trek, the avatar of those elitist corporatists who view all of us who have been loyal to Roddenberry's view of a bright future for humanity as rubes to be hustled, beaten, and robbed.
I don't know where they hit this whole idea. A lot of the Star Trek shows were gritty and fucking dark. The one show that it wasn't was TNG. That's because they had a nice little sheen, but they went to a lot of fucking dark places. But that was fucking history. Who needs that shit, right?
At the end of the day, I look at that insufferably smug piece of shit standing on the ashes of a burned out dream, and I want to retch. I want to rage against the dying of the light once known as Star Trek. I tremble with fury as Viacom CBS continues to glorify this putrid pornography masquerading as entertainment, continues to ram this rotten morsel of rancid meat down our gullets time and time again as the body of fandom continues to retch in revolt at this intrusion of this nauseating nothingness concocted by Kurtzman and his Keystone comedy crew.
Like, he's really... man... It is getting me slightly aroused that this motherfucker is this pissed off about this motherfucking show. I have to watch Star Trek Discovery now, since I have two motherfucking free months of CBS All Access. Yes, motherfucker. Yes.
How much money must CBS lose before they quit trying to sell us garbage we've rejected over and over and over again?
If they keep making this shit, then maybe they're not losing money. But you know, of course, if it's not catering to your stupid ass, this motherfucker, it must not be doing well. I signed up for CBS All Access to get Picard. It's not working, dog. It's not working. But you know what? Hey, maybe there are some good shows on there. Good Star Trek shows that show Star Trek. Oh yeah, what is I never heard anybody complaining about Enterprise. I wonder what's the difference. But let's continue.
How many times does CBS have to go into a Target or a Walmart before they realize that they no longer have any presence there? That no one is dumb enough,
It's digital, dog.
bankrupt enough, dead enough inside to buy anything associated with this perverted parody of Star Trek. I would say a reckoning is coming, but that horse has left the corral already. There already has been a reckoning. For the first time in Star Trek history, the merchandising has dried up, the fans have finally turned away, and I doubt they will ever come back.
Yet, and still, there are tons of people making a lot of videos and a lot of fucking money talking about Star Trek Picard, and they were obviously greenlight for a second season. My dude, I think you're a little bit biased based on your own interpretation of how things will be. But let's continue. This, like, literally 20% of the fucking video is about this shit. This is out of the 20-minute video, already 3 minutes and 40 seconds have been devoted to a show that he doesn't like. Really? I mean, like, Pot Calm the Kettle Back, their views I don't like, but I'm talking about their views. He's talking about some shit about a show that he doesn't even like. Let's continue.
So take that tattered flag and shove it up your ass, Mikey Spock, and fart to make it flutter in the breeze. You people have killed Star Trek.
He put a lot of emphasis on that. Is he's thinking about her ass? I think he's thinking about her ass. But let's continue.
I hope it makes you proud. And that is my review of the first 20 seconds of Star Trek Picard. Seeing Mikey Spock in the very first frame
4 minutes.
officially
4
makes
minutes.
this series finale of Puke Hard the very worst episode yet. And we've only
4
just
minutes.
begun to suck.
4 minutes.
Let's sum up, shall we? The Zot Vash are a secret Romulan organization that wants to destroy all synthetic life because they found a recording saying, hey, synths are going to destroy the universe. I think it was Terminator, though it might have been Colossus the Forbidden Project or Battlestar Galactica, the complete series. So some idiot who doesn't understand that you can't clone a machine goes ahead and clones a machine, creating a clone of Data's brain that remarkably isn't at all.
This is just me being pathetic, and because he has been pathetic in this whole thing. For one, it was, hey, we're gonna clone his positronic matrix, and it's akin to his brain. So literally, all he did was clone what is relatively a brain cell. That shit can, in the science, in the future, the shit can actually happen. Duh. The fuck is wrong with you, man? Yeah. This is not out of the realm of possibility. But let's go.
Like Data's brain, since it has none of his memories, can feel emotions, and can use contractions.
That's what I mean by being pathetic. And he does have his memories. He says, I could remember almost until the time that he died. That's literally what he said. But, you know, virgin fanboys, right? Virgin boys.
But hey, stupid is just another word for nothing left to lose, right? So 2 of these androids are Data's daughters. No, not lol. It's 2 bitches we've never seen before who have nothing at all to do with Data, just like Star Trek Picard has nothing to do with the Next Generation.
The fuck? It is clearly part of the Next Generation fucking canon. Or time frame. I'm going to say time frame. Because timelines in Star Trek, I've heard the J. Abrams film. Oh my god. That shit sounds fucking different. And I'm not shitting on them because they're something different. It's just that I don't like Abrams' style of telling stories in a lot of ways. It tries to be fan service and tries to be different, and he rides the fence so much. To quote recent quote that I got from a string, his ball sack has a nice 3-inch deep groove for all the fence sitting that he does. But let's continue.
And the Romulans want to kill Soji and Daj, which they could easily do just by beaming them out into space literally at any time, but no. They keep beaming teams of Romulan Black Op assassination squads to take out Daj. She keeps killing them all with a superhuman strength that the writers don't realize a positronic brain wouldn't give her. She goes to...
But a synthetic body would, you stupid, simple motherfucker. You have a robot head. You have a robot head. You would think that this shit would make sense to you because of fucking robotics. But no, you're a fucking idiot. But let's continue.
Picard for help. Starfleet tells him to fuck off, so he gathers a murderous, crazy cyberneticist, a broken down old drunk, a sister boy Romulan wood elf with a knife stick named Legolas, or El...
There we go. There we go with the demasculating fucking language. It was made that I feel like I'm just explaining it. Dude, just because you didn't like the decision of what they made doesn't mean it was a bad decision. It means that you didn't like the shit. I don't like your stupid fucking head. It looks like you spent all of, 2 hours putting together a fucking plastic box inside of the shape of a fucking head. But, yeah, sure. Let's go.
Nor. Basically, a character bought from the discount Lord of the Rings toy bin at Walmart. And for some reason, 7 of 9 pops up, acting completely different than she ever has, just as Picard is completely different from the man we knew.
So, of course, he means that 7 acted like she liked women. But 7 of 9 has always been the archetypal for Ranger type character, and this is more than just making reference to the fact that she's a Ranger. Her adventures in Unimatrix Zero, everything she did in fucking Voyager, she literally went to try to fucking. She was that I'm going to be a. She was literally one of those. Hey, I'm going to be an active role in that character. Now, yeah, of course, things change, but that's the character that they made was somebody who been through some shit. And not to mention the fact that she was raised by parents who were quote-unquote adventurers because they stowed away on a motherfucking Borg cube and tried to hide themselves. But no, that's not her personality to be that way for no reason. She's completely different. She wasn't cool, calm, and logical. Oh yeah, they fixed that in the end of Voyager. Well, she was. I don't know. A stronger version of what she was when she first got disconnected from the collective, but was on the path of being like. I don't get it. Like I don't get why she's totally different. But let's continue.
Turns out in the end, Picard is a supporting character in his own show. The Romulans were right because now they've taken the android Soji back home to her android planet, and the synths are indeed going to destroy all life in the universe. I just wish they had done it a lot sooner, like in the first episode. Then this show would have been a lot better. So as this episode starts, Picard is taken prisoner on the android planet. Dr. Sung is there with an android body all ready to transfer someone's mind into.
The whole thing was he was trying to transfer his own mind to it. That was a clear statement like, hey, I'm about to die soon. Let me transfer my mind. It was quite literally the fucking Dr. Gero shit. Like, I made a race of fucking androids. But then, like, they were really cyborgs, but I, I'm a little bit, I haven't drunk much, so, can't say that I'm tipsy, but I am fucking hot, so let's continue.
I wonder who will go in there. I wonder. And so I push play to find out. Narek, having been set free by the evil android Sutra, who killed her own sister to blame it on him to get all the androids to be cool with killing all the organic life in the universe, Narek, the Romulan lounge lizard, gets into the Borg cube, meets up with his incestuous sister, who asks him, "Did you find them? Did you fuck any of them?" Yeah. This already feels so much like Star Trek, doesn't it? Did you fuck any of them?
Isn't it a point that he was sleeping with Soji? It was literally a point that they were together, and that's how he got the information. And I'm sorry, Undoomed seems like one of those motherfuckers that'll watch anime, those sister fucking animes, like, oh yeah, I love my sister. But he criticizes it when it's in real fucking life. Oh my god. Like, for real. Dog, for real. This is what pisses you off? He reminds me of the way this shit is playing out. It reminds me of that episode of Black Mirror, which was a Star Trek parody of the guy who's like, you can't cuss, you don't have any genitalias, and you get to kiss all the women. Like, this is this nerd rage that I'm actually getting from a lot of these guys. But let's continue.
Wholesome family entertainment. This is CBS. Picard is...
It never said it tried to be wholesome family entertainment. This TrackCon motherfucking idea of what entertainment was, the fuck is your problem? Let's continue. We're almost halfway done with this.
Being confined now by the androids, so he can't use his eloquence to try to talk the androids out of killing everyone, even though he took his best shot with a speech last episode and failed because, being doddering, he blathered in a shaky voice that wouldn't even sell shoes to Kim Kardashian. So now...
Like, the actor got old. It's okay. The actor, Sir Patrick Stewart, who you guys praised in fucking Logan for being this asshole. Like, he got old and cranky, but he still put in a lot of fucking effort. But he literally got old and cranky. Like, what else can you actually do? What the fuck type of dig is that, dog? Did he seem any less coherent? No. Was it actually also may have been played up that they thought he was some old fool? The same person who the only hatred Picard had was the Borg because they basically raped him. And I mean, like, I hate to say it like that, but they forced themselves on him and actually made different changes in violated his own personal space. He only hated the Borg. But these motherfuckers, like Cardassians he cared about, Romulans he's cared about. He was that motherfucker who was an ideologue. But let's continue.
Narek is gathering bombs to go kill some flowers that could go out into space and capture the Romulan ships. And I can't believe I just actually said that.
Because it's wrong. Literally, they were gathering bombs to blow up the transmitter because, yeah, I don't know, if you push a small group of people to call down their gods and save them, and you do everything that you can because you thought they were evil, and you fucking push them the wrong fucking way, maybe if you bully them, maybe they would call on their gods to, I don't know, exact vengeance. I don't know. I mean, like, Christians talk about this shit all the time. Oh, you hurt me. I'm going to ask for God for praying for you. And pray and smite the wicked. And vengeance is mine, saying the Lord. But it's the android's fault that every time they were tried to reach out and say, hey, we're a new life, they were either killed or treated as slave. And fucking Maddox makes this fucking point. Like, in Measure of the Man, which all of these guys point to, they predictably explain what happens. It happens. And yeah, it's a fucked up situation. But I'm rambling just like he is. So let's continue.
Star Trek Picard is so fucking stupid. It makes real life stupid too. And so now Rios is trying to get his ship back up and running with a gizmo that requires Rios to just magically imagine his ship is fixed, and it just automatically happens. That's right. I'll say it again. Rios needs to fix his ship. And he's got this tool that all he has to do is magically imagine his ship is fixed, and it fixes it. Nothing makes any sense.
So let's just have a conversation about something. And maybe this is just my inference. In a world where they have nanites, microscopic machines that can actually repair or change or fix or build things, a machine that you hold in your hand that literally can rebuild shit is out of question. Oh, that's almost as if having a machine that can teleport you from one part in space to another. Oh shit, they had that. Okay. That's like having a machine that can motherfucking move you faster than light. Oh shit, they have that. Oh, that's like a machine that literally makes food out of nothing. Fuck out of here, dude. The fuck out of here.
Says Rios, as his ship is completely fixed in 30 seconds with the magic wish tool, TM. Like
Replicators.
Like saying, I do believe in fairies to make Tinkerbell all better again.
Tea, Earl Grey hot. Ooh, look, tea. Long Island lemonade, cold. Drink. Long Island lemonade, cold.
And yet Lamulus had to stay behind at the Borg cube to help them get their Borg ship repaired, despite having no skill, except bringing a knife stick to a phaser fight. So Narek goes to Rio's ship with a ton of grenades and...
This whole thing about, oh, he's like an elf or some shit like that. His thing was hand-to-hand combat. Literally, that was his thing. Hand-to-hand combat. And every time that if you had a phaser and you got beat with somebody in hand-to-hand combat, it's not his fault. It's yours. But who am I fucking kidding? These motherfuckers don't think about shit like that. Let's continue.
Offers to team up with him by throwing rocks at Rios' ship. This wins Rios over. So now Lamula shows up at Rio's ship, finally sees someone he can attack with his knife stick, until Rios says, stop pointing your knife stick at Narek, and so Lamulus puts it down. Yeah.
Wait, you were just pointing out the absurdity of him having a knife in a gunfight. And he says, look, kid, because he was literally still a kid. He was sheltered. He hadn't been anywhere. Put your knife down. We're going to handle some shit like an adult. Oh, that's a problem now. You fucking idiot. But let's continue.
This is what passes for a thrilling action sequence in Star Trek Picard. Meanwhile, Dr. Agnes Girardi is screwing around with a dead synth, the murdered sister, and she pulls out her eye in the lab because Star Trek Picard is all very well and good until someone loses an eye, which happens pretty much in every episode. because vulgarity is stunning and brave.
Wait, what? Please introduce me to the episodes where people actually shown, I don't know, Borg assimilation or Borg de-assimilation. Like, that shit was happening. Now, the technology wasn't as good as they have now. And oh yeah, I was fucking freaked out by the eye. But the fact that you make it a point, dog, it's almost as if, did it get you excited? Did it get you excited when they touched the eye? But let's continue.
And it's Kurtzman's one special trick. And the sad thing is, women pulling eyes out all through this series, Kurtzman says he has a special knack for writing women. And that should tell you all you need to know about Kurtzman's writing skills. His writing makes us all want to yank our fucking eyes out, rather than watch. Meanwhile, Admiral O, who now somehow is out of the Federation and back with the Romulans, is leading a Romulan armada to destroy the synths on Soji's planet.
It's almost if somebody who was a secret fucking agent actually said, hey, I'm about to burn myself for some shit that I deem that's fucking important. Now, yes, it made seem that the Romulans are quote unquote evil. But to fashy motherfuckers like this bastard, oh no, they doing what they need to do. They feel like they're the hero of the story. They feel like they're trying to protect life. So they will burn their agent, their asset, in order to make sure, hey, we need to stop this shit. They didn't have any trust or faith in the synths. Because every time they try to do something, motherfuckers will try to kill them. So maybe they'd be a little pissed about it. But let's continue.
Agnes busts Picard out of confinement, despite being the worst secret agent ever by her own admission, highlighting the absurdity of these synths being so stupid they leave Picard unguarded. That's right. So Agnes Jurati can just walk right up.
Unguarded and unsupervised are two different things. He was literally locked in a room. And she literally made a pledge that she was going to help the synths. Now, granted, they were naive. And I'm guessing Alton Sung, motherfucker, probably was happy for another non-synthetic life. Or he also didn't trust the fact that all of a sudden the secret Romulan spy got out. And I don't know. He also had his misgivings. That's why he did his own investigation. It was too neat. And he also... Let's continue.
Step in and bail Picard out. Well, I guess we really didn't need to worry about artificial intelligence after all, since despite being artificial, they certainly display little evidence of intelligence. So in the lab, replaying the last memory of the synth that Sutra murdered, Dr. Sung realizes the truth that Sutra is a murderer, and he's upset. So Picard is back at Rio's ship with Agnes now, and they've already gone with the Romulan lounge lizard, and they're going to go ahead and attack the compound with the synths. And Picard is trying to figure out how to stall or defeat the Romulans. Picard says the synths are all children, and he's going to teach them all a lesson about being better people. Agnes says, make it so. She can't even let Picard say his own fucking trademark line.
So many of these guys are so pissed off because they feel their childhood is ruined because somebody said something that the old person used to say. Like, for real? He wasn't even going to say it. If you look at the behind the scenes, it was like that wasn't even going to be said. She was fucking making fun of him because she knows his history, but she knows that they were going into some shit. Like, come on, dog. Come on. Let's continue.
That is how much respect Picard is shown on his own show. So now Sutra is about to trigger the beacon that will bring the ancient killer synths to this universe to kill all organic life. But now Dr. Sung confronts Sutra about killing her sister to blame it on the Romulan and then to get all the other synths to agree to kill all organic life. and he knocks Sutra out with a taser or something, despite her being an android with incredible reflexes. And all the other synths just stand around watching passively.
Because they're naive. And oh yeah, like, it's not like we've had this example in fucking Star Trek before. I know we have a lot of data about it, but is there any lore about something like this happening? I wonder. But let's continue.
And so Sung has basically thwarted the plan because he has uncovered the duplicity of Sutra. But then Rios and Raffi and Lamulus and Narek, the Romulan lounge lizard, attack to rile shit up again. And the synths just go down like the hollow cardboard cutouts that they are. Meanwhile, Picard and Agnes are in orbit, and they're going to try to single-handedly stall the 200-plus Romulan ship armada.
I watched this video the other day, but they knew it was a losing battle. They were the 300. Or they were the, Athenians at the... I don't know. But they knew it was a losing battle. They didn't give a fuck. They had a little bit of a backup of 23 flowers. And they had the magic hand wavy thing. What can they possibly do? But let's continue.
Back to the attack, Rios tries to blow up the entire facility with one of the grenades, but Soji catches the grenade and throws it away into space. Meanwhile, 7 of 9 finds the incestuous Romulan sister aboard the Borg cube, and instead of shooting her, talks with her long enough for the Romulan chick to kick her gun away, and so they catfight. Meanwhile, the silly-ass slow-moving flowers
They weren't real flowers, dog. They were token defense force. They were a token defense force that didn't want to that weren't meant to face 200 plus Romulan motherfucking birds of prey. 200 versus 23 flowers. Think about that. Because they depended on being secret. But I don't know. Maybe this is all a grift. He really did like the show. He obviously watched the whole thing, but let's continue.
Glide up towards the Romulan fleet because it has arrived, and the flowers are completely ineffectual, as flowers are wont to be in space. So back on the Borg cube, incredibly, the Romulan chick is beating 7 of 9's ass until 7 of 9 kicks the Romulan bitch over a railing, and she dies, putting her out of our misery. So, yeah.
There's a point that I'm going to make. She gets kicked over the railing. You don't actually see the body. Until you see the body, she's not dead. I know I'm being an asshole, but that's just me.
We get shots of the Romulans destroying the flowers, Picard flying around through the flowers, tiptoeing through the tulips. Picard says, we need to make Rios' ship appear to be a fleet of ships to fool the Romulans. Lucky for them, they have Rios' magic tool, TM, that can do anything if you just wish hard enough. And so he uses it to make the La Serena appear to be a fleet of La Serenas with their own warp signatures. And yay, it works like magic. And so the Romulans get distracted.
It's almost as if it's a maneuver. Who did that on the Stargazer? It was his captain. It was his commander that got promoted to captain because he did that. I could have sworn that there was a name for it. It was the Pickle Rick remover. It was, the Picard maneuver. It is literally the Picard maneuver, making a ship seem in multiple places than one. And not only that, it was a ship with fucking hollow emitters. And I'm sorry, my friend, warp signatures aren't that fucking hard to fucking fake. We've seen that in Star Trek, Voyager. We would have seen it in Deep Space Nine, but it was a fucking space station. I understand that, Vegeta. I actually can watch more than one at the same time, too. But let's continue.
Shooting at these mirror ships, though. If they're mirror ships, shouldn't they all be moving exactly in sync? Oh, silly me with my narrative logic. So Soji triggers the portal on the planet to summon the evil synths. The Romulans are about to try to save the universe by attacking the synths and shutting down the beacon, and then an armada from...
Okay, so if you haven't, since you're coming in, I'm talking about all these motherfuckers flipping out about Star Trek Picard. These motherfuckers are just fucking flipping out. So, yeah.
Starfleet pops into view to save the... I guess to stop the Romulans from saving the universe by killing the synths. And shutting...
Well, it's actually really, really funny that these motherfuckers... I don't know what I'm going to do with my next drawing stream. I actually did do something, and I probably put the picture up on my... I did it recently with Vegeta. If you... I put it on my Instagram. So the Crimson 60620 Instagram is my latest picture. If you want to actually take a look at it, go ahead and look at it, man. Seeing that, we on lockdown, I may do some drawing streams tomorrow. But going back to what this motherfucker, Undoomed, and all of these guys that complain about, well, Romulans are just trying to save the universe by being authoritarian and destroying any life that they deem unfit. That's fashy, dog. That is literally a fascist talking point. These are the others, and we are going to save you by killing them. That's literally what fascists did and continue to do. That's one of those things where it's just like, well, they don't deserve to live. It's a perversion of the argument, the good of the many outweigh the good of the few. Because you're automatically othering these motherfuckers, and you're justifying their hatred of you by hating them. And I'm sorry, these motherfuckers are literally scared because you're talking about wiping them out because they're different. That's fucked up. But let's continue.
Shutting down the portal. Does anyone else see how insultingly stupid this all is? The Starfleet Armada pops in and the music plays heroically as they intercede against the villainous Romulans who are actually trying to save the universe. Jesus God. Riker is in command of the Armada in a move designed to make the simple-minded in the audience go woohoo. And Riker threatens the Romulans, and now we get a space battle ignoring the threat to the entire universe posed by the synths who are about to destroy everyone. Meanwhile, Picard's disease conveniently starts killing him. I wonder if he'll wind up in that android body for the Picard Season 2.
What kills me about these motherfuckers is that they know. Okay, so they know that the show got a second season. They know the show actually just made a lot of fans. It actually made people actually enjoy the show. But they can't conceive in their mind why people would like the shit with... I don't know. It's like they don't understand that maybe the choices that they didn't like doesn't mean that other people didn't like the shit. But, let's continue.
That absolutely no one wants. Picard asks Soji please to shut down the beacon. He's risking all life in the universe in order to spare Soji and her sins. He tells Soji he believes in her.
Yeah, he is a whiny bitch. It wasn't like I wanted them, so they're bad. And by the way, I'm checking out this ink sketch, man. That looks tight. That actually is tight, man. Man, that's great. I just thought about it. He does look like Bioncle with the different swords and shit, but broke down Bioncle. But let's continue.
Even though she betrayed the humans and actually triggered the beacon, it's going as he speaks. So of course, this works. And she says, well, since you asked so nicely, she goes ahead and shuts it down. And everything's perfectly swell again. So now,
wait, I'm sorry. These motherfuckers, they minimize shit when it seems like it works for them, but blow shit up when it doesn't. Like, so you can tell Soji was a conflicted character. She was literally the one that actually tried to make the decision, going, no, we're not going to do it. No, we're not going to do it. Even though I've been hurt by humans, no, I'm not going to do it. Oh, shit, they killed my sister or one of the synths. Now we're going to do it. But she always had reservations. You can see that was part of her character. And if you want to make, before, he made an interesting point saying that it was more like Picard was a side character in his own show. Because the show wasn't just about Picard, you dumb fuck. Next Generation wasn't just about Picard. Fucking DS9, the station was the character. Voyager, yeah, it kind of got a little 7 of 9 heavy towards the end of the series. That's because people wanted to see that shit. But let's continue.
no, we don't even get the space battle. The Romulans power down. Riker says we'll escort you back to your own space. And nothing happens. It's also pointless and empty. So at least we got to see Riker briefly in command aboard the bridge of a starship once more. And that was the best scene in the whole series, which just goes to show you that this contemptible piece of utter worthless excrement could have been a decent tribute to the Next Generation.
You know what? I said this on my other video that I talked about these motherfuckers. But I don't give a fuck about Riker coming back with the Next Generation. What I want to see Jonathan Frakes voice Xanatos again. I want to see fucking Gargoyles. I want them to bring the shit back and have a fucking awesome time, because Gargoyles was fucking awesome, and it was just like, it is more about plot. It is definitely more about plot. It's about plot and ideas. But these motherfuckers are the same ones talking about it's not enough action, but fucking criticize the J.J. Abrams film because it was too actiony and shit like that. Star Trek has always been a cerebral show. But fuck, no, it hasn't been. It's been spaceships and star battles. But let's continue.
That it wasn't is yet another in a long list of crimes against the fandom by Kurtzman and by CBS. So yeah, anyway, Picard collapses. He's fading fast, exactly as we all knew would happen. And gee, as I watch, I thinks to myself, hey, wasn't there a spare android body in the lab just ready to receive somebody's essence? What about that? I laughed and laughed as JL croaked and everyone cried, remembering that this isn't Picard, this is the bizarro Picard known as JL. So now 7 of 9 is sitting with Rios, who she also doesn't know as well as she doesn't know Picard.
Wait, what? What? You have an issue that somebody who was in essence a friend to Jean-Luc Picard referred to him as JL? Like, he wasn't irreverent. He was a person. And not only that, he was retired. If you call your commanding officer commander or call him by a formal title, what the fuck? No! It is no reason why. Like, these motherfuckers, authoritarian dumbasses, think everything is formal. I literally have a manager that his full name is a fucking, I don't want to say proper, but he has a full proper name. And he goes around telling people to call him by his motherfucking nickname. This shit happens, you dumb fuck motherfucker. But maybe you haven't worked a job where you can actually be formal yet casual with these people. It is some world building and some writing issues But that's an issue with a lot of shows. And they try to fit what probably they had pacing issues. But you know what happened? All of the better shows, the better episodes came in the second half of the season where they did change the creative director and brought in a director from the next generation to actually put his own spin and taste on how the episodes was. You know who that spin and taste was? It was Jonathan fucking Frakes. Jonathan fucking Frakes says, hey, this is how we used to do it in the original TNG episodes. This is how we used to do it in the Voyager. This is how we do it in DS9. Let's do it like this. The same shit that they're complaining about in Discovery. Frakes literally has been the director for the shit and is coming up with some of the better episodes because he knows the flavor and tone of the old Star Trek. And I haven't seen the Angry Joe one. I'm just going off of these motherfucking reactionaries. I have to watch it because I've been watching a few of these motherfuckers. I watched, I think it was the Steve Shives. He had some things that he liked, he didn't dislike. But these motherfuckers are, they ruined Star Trek, and Star Trek was never dark, and the Starfleet was never distrustful. Yes, the fuck it was. It was always distrustful. See what happened when Jean-Luc Picard became assimilated by the Borg. They was like, fuck it. Kill him and destroy the Borg. They literally was like that. But, I've watched too much Star Trek, apparently.
Treating him like her oldest pal as they mourn JL croaking. I love how all those group therapy sessions have really opened up 7 of 9 to people. She's a real people person now, isn't she? And we track with a butterfly who mournfully flies to Rafi and Lamulus so we can have an exact replay of the same damn scene with them.
Somebody they thought was a great man died, and you make fun of this shit? It's not too bad. It's something that if you like the characters, if you like the world, it actually is it's pretty good. But these motherfuckers who have their fefes hurt and become snowflakes because it's not like I want it, so it must be bad and you hurt my feelings. This shit is what I can't fucking stand because they made choices that writers make. And if you have an issue with the choices they make as writers, then that's fine. But to actually poo-poo the work of a whole fucking team, producer, actors, writers, and all that other good shit because they didn't do it the way you want it, fuck you. And I'm sorry, man. But let's continue.
Lamulus cries like the sister boy he is, and Raffi cries, and still the butterfly flies on. And Picard opens his eyes and looks around saying, another damn dream. But then Data, or a 25% different facsimile, strolls up and says, nope.
And see, this is the shit, like, making a hit at the Kelvin, I guess, universe from the Star Trek movie timeline. Okay, you didn't like the shit. But you gotta throw in these digs? Like, come on now. Let's continue.
Not a dream, a complex quantum simulation. Then asks Picard, are those the clothes you were wearing when you died? Picard asks, am I dead? Yep. So we can't even treat Picard's death with dignity and allow it to be the end, in a wonderful negation of any significance or consequence his death might have had. Picard is dead, but not really, because he just keeps blathering on, chatting with Data. But this is a simulation with a lot of double talk about this is reconstructed from Data's mind, planted up B4's ass, powered by Lore's right foot running on a hamster wheel, blah, 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 double talk, blather, blather, blather. Turns out Picard's brain has been, holy crap, Picard's brain has been transferred into an android body? The door to the bright light opens, and I nearly threw my remote through the TV when I heard the actual Star Trek door sound effect in this vile crap.
And this is the shit that kind of like, I get it. These motherfuckers think that they can write a script for a YouTube video, that they can come and write a compelling story, fantasy or sci-fi adventure story. These motherfuckers really do think that if they would have wrote it, it would have been better. And their heroes would have actually been great and would have won the battle, no sweat, and actually would have, fuck like 10 bitches and like had like a fat smoke or whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't know. This shit right here is getting me good, but they have this weird perception that they're actually better writers than people, that have had years of writing and producing content. I mean, like, and then, like, the funny fucking thing is that, how do I put it? It's what I liken to the people that power skill for Dragon Ball Z. These are the motherfuckers that want to know the power levels of every motherfucker that there could be. This story doesn't make sense. How could somebody with this power level beat this person with that power level? But when they gave you that bullshit, you thought it wasn't interesting enough because you already knew the outcome because the numbers were bigger. Literally, this is the argument that you have. You don't have all the complete data. So when you get the complete data, no pun intended, you have a fucking issue because it's boring now. And then you say, well, they shouldn't have told us this. And when they don't tell you this, it's like, well, it doesn't make any sense because they didn't give a shit. Fucking enjoy the story. Critique the characters. Critique how the characters got to where they need to. I don't know. Maybe because I'm a character artist and, developer, that part makes a little bit more sense than some of the shit that these motherfuckers are actually complaining about. Because they're complaining about bullshit. They're complaining about the bullshit because they have no fucking imagination. But let's continue.
And Data asks Picard to pull the plug on him as a last wish. Let Data die, pull his head out of B4's ass, wipe it off, take Lore's foot off the hamster wheel, and let Data go because who wants to live forever? Only mortality gives any meaning to existence and so on. There can only be one. With two, you get egg roll. Whatever.
So, this actually highlights some bullshit that these motherfuckers really don't understand. Life has meaning because it fucking ends. And you motherfuckers who are fucking, like, why would somebody choose to die? Because when you know you have an end, no matter when it will be, you carry yourself a little bit differently. But these motherfuckers can't comprehend that, hey, living forever is fucking torture. That's why every character that is blessed with immortality goes fucking crazy. But let's continue. Yeah, no, like for real. Like, and this the thing. It's like the rules that a lot of these guys make, if you actually live by it, it's like you don't want that story, dog. You don't want that story where you can actually figure it out. I am telling you, from as somebody who can figure out a lot of stories, you don't want that story where you can actually figure out, hey, this actually is going to end up like this. And these motherfuckers, they want that story of, how does this work? Motherfucker, you don't want that. You don't want every single explanation. You want to have motherfucking mystery. Because that's how stories become interesting. But let's continue.
Point is, now Picard is a robot. Though stupidly, these morons have actually made the robot look like Picard. So now they can't go on the cheap with a voiceover for season 2. They've made him stay older. They built in mortality for him, so he'll die soon anyway.
Okay, your point. Like, literally, This was the point of the reason why Data actually had that conversation with him. Because life has meaning when it has an end. But these people never, the people that complain about shit like I would want to live forever. These are the same people that will stay locked in their motherfucking basement or covered in motherfucking head, like, as Vegeta put it, Bioncle head, never want to experience new shit. They just want to exist. Never want to put themselves on the line. Never want to actually say, hey, this life is going to come to an end one day. Let's make this shit count. Other than being whiny little motherfucking bitches on the internet. But let's continue.
This drivel is unspeakable garbage.
Yeah. Like, who literally wants to be immortal? Even if you solve the problem of eventually, even if you solve the problem of having perfect memory and perfect recall, then you come to another problem. All the people that are around you that you get close to will eventually die. But these motherfuckers wouldn't have that problem because they aren't close to around any people. Or you run into the part where your brain starts forgetting shit because you start loading that shit up with all the information for living forever will be. But let's continue.
And Data sits in his simulation, listening to Blue Skies on a record player, waiting to get checked out. And they kill him, and Picard appears by his bedside in his Starfleet uniform from the next generation, seen only from the back to avoid the licensing fee for that uniform. And stupidly, Data gets wrinkles as he dies in this simulation and fades away along with the entirety of the simulation. This would have been a moving sequence if this entire series hadn't been a pandering, obnoxious gob of spit in the eye of the fandom.
What? They literally started out the fucking series with Picard playing cards with Data and literally saying, like, I don't want this to end because he was in a fucking dream. This is a callback to episode 1. And how Picard feels guilty on the fact that, Data saved his life. Which Picard was willing to fucking die. He was willing at the end of Nemesis to fucking die. But Data says, not today, Captain.
And Agnes kisses Rios, and Raffi holds 7 of 9's hand romantically, and Picard now has his ship and team, along with Soji to be part of the crew. And of course, the Federation lifts the ban on synthetics, naturally, now that synthetics have been revealed to be the ultimate threat to life, sure.
It's almost as if a secret agent that was heavily influential on making sure synthetic life stays illegal and suppressed. Once she was gone and they discovered that shit, they were trying to save face. Besides the fact that they murdered diplomats in order to make sure that under the auspices of that secret agent actually saying we hate synths. Like, this, I don't think if you take the word synthetics and replace them with any other type of people, I don't know. I don't think Undoom would have an issue with that. Ooh. Let's put synthetics in place of changelings and see how he would actually feel about the Dominion War. And if you don't know what the Dominion War is, look up Deep Space Nine. It was the same fucking fear. You can't trust to know who was quote unquote real or on your side and who was an enemy. And Starfleet lost its collective shit so much so they orchestrated a genocide on one of their own fucking constables. Hello, Odo. But let's continue.
Let's unban them so that any disgruntled synth can go ahead and create a beacon and open a portal to kill everyone. Oh, gee, that's a...
It wasn't just unban them, it stopped threatening them. Hey, let's stop threatening these simps because they have a fucking ace in the hole that will come and scrub the fucking galaxy. Hey, let's not do that. But let's continue.
A swell idea. And that concludes the latest Alex Kurtzman loaf, Star Trek Picard. This thing was nonsensical, insulting, and derogatory, not only to fans, but to one of the greatest characters in Star Trek history, Jean-Luc Picard. I hope this towering insult reaps every single reward that CBS has coming.
It's got a second season. It's actually trying to get Whoopi Goldberg. Fucking Sir Patrick Stewart went on The View to invite her for for season 2. Whoopi Goldberg. Oh God, Whoopi Goldberg. But let's continue.
And while I find life sweet, there is some consolation in knowing that one day, when the sun inevitably goes nova, every copy of this trash will be incinerated. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.
Alright, yeah, so stay angry. They've hurt my feelings because they did a thing that I didn't like. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, for real, these motherfuckers actually think this Star Trek is theirs. Like, I don't get it. I've never understood. These are the same motherfuckers that were mad at Star Wars because it was too political. But you get a fucking political show and then I don't like it because it's not actiony enough or it doesn't explain a lot of shit. These are the same motherfuckers that got upset about metachlorine. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, are we talking about the same motherfucking principle of, like, it's the fandom is just, fandoms like this are toxic not because of who they are, but what they fucking represents. The fact that they represent some entitled little shits that think, hey, it needs to happen the way I do, or you're raping my childhood. And I'm like, no, motherfucker, that's not how this works. But let's continue. Oh, I guess that is the end of the fucking video. Yeah, this shit bothers the fuck out of me. Because a lot of these guys, they couldn't write a good episode of shit to fucking save their life. But yet and still, they want to say, oh, these people, they're ruining my childhood. How the fuck are they ruining your childhood, dog? They're just doing something different from what you think that they should actually be. Does the show have pacing issues? Maybe it should have been 8 episodes instead of 10. Maybe. Should they have done something with the Borg cube? Oh, yeah, they did. They came and saved their ass one time. And something tells me about having that fucking Borg cube literally on the planet. Cyborgs on a planet of androids. Cyborgs who have been ostracized on a planet of androids. That seems a little intentional. And of course, they're mad because 7 or 9 looks like she's into girls now. Instead of being fucking happy that, hey, 7 or 9, she looks like she's into girls now. Maybe, hate to say I'm disgusting, but maybe we can get another holodeck program, me, her, and the holodeck. Like, the fuck? Like, you guys are so fucking simple. But, let's go to my next video.